7.5, Writing and Graphing Inequalities. Well, let's start off with what is an inequality? An inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares expressions. This part's pretty important. It contains these symbols. This symbol is usually represented as the less than sign, greater than sign, less than or equal to, that's what the line underneath means, and the greater than or equal to sign. To write an inequality, look for the following phrases to determine where to place an inequality symbol. So on the next page I'm going to have a table that I would like you to draw out so you have it in your notes. Color-coded as you wish, but you're going to come back to this quite frequently. Okay, before you pause it and start writing everything down, just listen. So, there's my lightsaber. Our inequality symbols. If I have a symbol that looks like this, it's going to mean is less than or is fewer than. These are important key phrases that we need to understand. If I see a symbol like this with an inequality, it's greater than or is more than. So obviously it's bigger. If I see a symbol like this, it means is less than or equal to, is at most, or is no more than. Okay, be careful because this one differs a little bit. This one says, if a sign looks like this, is greater than or equal to, is at least, or is no less than. Okay, so write all these down. Make sure you have this on a big chunk of your paper so that it's there to see. I kind of color-coded it specifically. Obviously, this is our less than. This is another less than type of sign, but it also means it's equal. It can be equal to, and vice versa. Example 1 is writing inequalities. So you're going to get a word sentence, and then we're going to have to figure out how to write it as an inequality. So here's an example of what I mean. The directions would read like this. Write the word sentence as an inequality. If you were given this as a question, or this is one of your problems, a number C is less than -4. So you're going to go back into that table and see what is the word, if it says, let me get my pencil here, is less than. If you see that and you look in your table, obviously this is the sign that I found that pops up. Okay? We know that we have a number C. We don't know what it is, so I'm just going to put that below. I put my inequality sign, and there's nothing else that I need to do to the -4, so I leave it as is. So to write this as an inequality, it would be C is less than -4, and that would be my answer. A number C is less than -4. Did it say anything about it being equal? No. So that's my sign. This is what I'm trying to help you guys figure out, is what my inequality sign is going to be. Let's try another one. Alright, so here's B. A number K plus 5 is greater than or equal to 8. So what I have here is I know that I've got this area right here, a number K plus 5. Well, that's pretty simple. K plus 5. Okay. Is greater than or equal to. That's one of those key phrases we just worked on. What symbol would I use? Is it greater than or equal to? We have to recognize that it's this symbol that we learned from that table we just drew. And our last one is 8. Well, we don't have to do anything with 8. So when we condense it all together, it should look like this. K plus 5 is greater than or equal to 8. You have to put in that line right there. It's super important that it's in there because it could equal that. Let's try another one. Alright, so now I have 4 times a number H is at most 16. Alright, so the first thing I need to focus on is 4 times a number H. Well, what does that mean? It says 4 times right in there, so I have to recognize that that's multiplication. That's the number 4, even though it's written that way. So I have 4 times a number H. We all know that 4H together means 4 times H, right? 4 times H, which is what I had. Then, is at most. Go back to that table, find out what does it mean? What symbol am I going to use? What inequality symbol is at most? So you should figure out that that's the sign that looks like this. It could equal to that. It is at most, and then we all know, obviously, to leave our 16. So, to rewrite this, we should come up with 4h is less than or equal to 16. Alright, here's 3 more pieces of information for you. I want to highlight a couple things. So, a solution of an inequality, that's kind of one of our terms that we're talking about, is a value that makes the inequality true. Okay? An inequality can have more than one solution. This is something that we need to remember as we go through this section and actually the rest of the sections. And then the last thing, excuse me, the set of all solutions of an inequality is called the solution set. So if you have flashcards or something going, or a Quizlet or whatnot, these might be a couple things you want to add in there. So we have one more table to write up, and then after that, one more quick example, and we're all done. So the next thing that we're going to figure out is, are these true? That's what we're trying to answer here. Are these true statements? So we start off with the value of x, okay? The value on this one is 3, the value here is 4, and the value here is 5. What that means is that's what I'm going to fill in for my my inequality. I'm still in my equation talk. I'm just going to scratch out. This is an inequality. The difference between the inequality and the equation is the sign that we have. So here we have a inequality sign. If that was an equal sign, it would be called an equation. That's really the difference. Alright, so we're going to plug these numbers in. So I'm going to plug in 3 plus 3, they're saying is less than or equal to 7. Is that true? Down here I'm going to plug in 4 plus 3, is it less than or equal to 7? And then this one I'm going to plug in 5 for my x. We're saying is 5 plus 3 less than or equal to 7. So these are all our questions that we have here. We need to say, are they true or are they not? So to quickly solve them, you just do, well, let's start order of operations. 3 plus 3 is 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 7? Yes, it is, because that's true. It's not equal to 7, but it is less than, so it is stand true. Let's try the next one. 4 plus 3 is 7. Is 7 less than or equal to 7? Yes, it's equal to it. That's the question we're asking because that's the symbol it's given. Alright, let's do the last one. 5 plus 3 is 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 7? No, it's more than 7, so it wouldn't be true. And that's what the next step in the examples are like. So we did this with equations as well. Now we're doing it with inequalities. Alright, example 2 is checking solutions. The directions would be stated like this. Tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. Okay, so you have something like this. We got x plus 1. If you're not sure what that sign means, you need to look it up or make sure you understand it. So x plus 1 is greater than 7. That's what they're telling us. Then they're saying that x equals 8. So we have to plug in 8 for x. So we start with looking down at our x. Our x now becomes 8. Bring down our plus sign. Bring down our 1. Bring down our inequality. Bring down our 7. Now we solve as much as we can. 8 plus 1 is 9. Is 9 greater than 7? So that's the question we're asking. Well, yes, 9 is greater than 7, so yes, it is a solution. And that would be what our answer would be. Let's try this one. So we write the inequality, we've got it there. Now we substitute the 4, because y equals 4. We substitute it where the y is. So I'm going to leave my 7. I'm going to substitute my I'm going to substitute 4 for 7. So it would be times 4, substitute my 4 for y. My apologies. So, now I can solve. 7 times 4 is 28. Is 28 less than 27? No. So it wouldn't be a solution, because because 28 is not less than 20, or 28 is not less than 27. All right, let's try one that's a little bit more difficult. I've got z over 3, and then I got to recognize what is that sign telling me. So z over 3 is greater than or equal to 5. Z equals 15. So let's plug in. So I'm going to put 15 over 3 is greater than or equal to 5. All right, now I got to do some solving. How many times can 3 go into 15? 3 can go into 15 5 times. Is 5 greater than or less than 5? That's our question. Yes, it is a solution because 5 is equal to it. It's not greater than, but it's equal to it. All right, we're going to stop there. What I want you to do is some of these, that was a smiley face, some of our try-its. Try a couple of these, make sure you're understanding it, and then we'll see you in class on Monday. So you're telling whether 3 is a solution of the inequality. So you're going to plug in 3 for all of the variables, see if it makes sense. Yes or no are your answers, and I'm going to put them on the same page. So pause it right now before I put the answers up. And make sure you show all your work. And there are your answers.